Welcome to the Backyard Nature Network video series on tips to attract wildlife to your yard.
Tip 9. Reducing pesticide use. We're not the only ones who love the Florida climate. It's perfect for pests too. And when it comes to pests, we often turn to pesticides to help. Unfortunately, most pesticides do not target one species. So by applying pesticides, we often cause more harm than good. Besides, only about 10% of our backyard pests are actually hurting anything. Plus, more bugs means more food for wildlife in your yard. And if you're watching this video, your goal is to create wildlife habitat in your yard, so bugs are a good thing. Hummingbirds use spiderwebs in their nests. Even wasps eat and lay their eggs in other pest species' bodies, which kills them naturally. Bats feed on insects too, a lot of them. A well-designed bat house can encourage these hungry, flying mammals to be your personal and natural pest control. Ladybugs and some nematodes can serve as a natural pest control too. Some pests are becoming resistant to chemical pesticides, so doing things the natural way may work better for some. You can also look into less toxic options, such as soapy water solutions and horticultural oils that can be sprayed into the infected plants. And if you plant Florida natives, they usually attract fewer pests altogether. A safe recipe is 2 tablespoons of baby shampoo for each gallon of water. If you do resort to using pesticides, please keep these tips in mind. You should only apply pesticides in the early morning or late evening to avoid burning your plants, and pay attention to the weather. You should not apply pesticides when it's about to rain, as this alters the effectiveness of the chemicals. It's also important to pay attention to where you are applying your pesticides and in what form should you decide to use them. Pesticides should not be applied up to the water's edge. Chemicals applied too close to the water can enter our local water bodies and impact water quality. If you can, try to use solid forms of pesticides rather than liquids. They're more likely to stay on target. But if they don't, and you see they have blown onto the street or sidewalk, sweep them back into the grass to reduce runoff. See, if it rains and pesticide granules are on a hard, impervious surface like your driveway, they could be more easily washed into the nearest storm drain, which often leads to a nearby body of water with no treatment. It's also important to read the labels and follow directions very carefully. And remember, a true pest is one that causes some form of destruction to your plants, not just a species that you don't want around. Next time you reach for the pesticides, think twice about the impact it can have on our area wildlife and local water resources.
Thanks for tuning in to the Backyard Nature Network video series and finding out what you can do to help provide habitat for wildlife.